I have ADHD and I have a problem. I can't focus for more than like 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and there's this productivity technique from the 1980s called the Pomodoro technique that tells you to work for exactly 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break and repeat. And hopefully with this like on-off focus break thing, you're able to actually work for like 90% of the time. And it's named after this, of all things, a little tomato timer. And the internet swears that this is gonna fix my ADHD brain and allow me to focus forever. Reddit, TikTok, every single productivity guru that can afford a ring light, everybody just says, use Pomodoro. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I bought a $500 brainwaves sensing Karate Kid headband. I also bought these 2 timers and then programmed my own Pomodoro timer, and then spent 3 days testing if this tomato-based time management system can actually have a chance of taming my ADHD brain. Okay, so we're basically going to be keeping track of 2 things. The first is my brainwaves. This thing, I guess, can apparently track my different ADHD brain states. What I found through this was that there was like consistent brain states that I would go through, and I would use this every day while I was working. So this is going to be showing up as a shorthand to explain the sort of brain state that I'm in while I'm doing the test. It's pretty interesting. I don't actually know how accurate the data is out of this, honestly. Listen, I'm not a scientist. I'm barely even an adult, honestly, but like, I'm just a guy trying to understand my own brain. It's a consumer grade device. I had to build my own app just to be able to like figure out how to read any of these things in the first place. And for sure, I mean, this goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway, my results and the like brain states that you see here may not represent your experience or the results that you'd get from an EEG device or anything else. It's just me, one dude, trying to figure out my own ADHD. Let me show you what we're working with. This one is called the Time Timer Mod Home Edition. This little guy right here. It costs this much and has this many stars on Amazon right over here. It does have the feel of a premium product, like it feels kind of fancy. Packaging cardboard, very nice. Nice. Okay, pretty simple. It's just the clock that you turn. Dead simple. Looks really cool. I love the color too. So it has one option on the back. Sound on and off. I'm guessing there's, needs batteries. Okay, battery in. Is it working? How would I know it's working? Is there like a start button? It is counting down very slowly. Hold on, here. If we just time lapse, zoom in and speed that up, you might be able to tell. Can you tell yet? Is there? Okay. That is the sound I'm going to be hearing a lot today. Let's get started with this first work session and see if this, if this tomato-based productivity strategy actually means something. Today we're just going to try in the next 25 minutes to an hour to just build our website. That's all we're going to try to do. Headband. Okay, here we go. Okay, break time. Okay, I was definitely a lot more distracted during that one, and I think maybe that's why the breaks actually matter. Okay. All right, that's done. This channel has led me to some very weird places. Okay, back to the sweaty headband. Turn it back on. We gotta get all the things working again. 1 sec. I would say anecdotally how I felt here with this one was 25.5 was okay. I felt like the breaks were way too short, and I also felt like the work time also felt a little bit too short too. Like I felt like I was context switching, going back and forth from work to not work to work. And I don't think that I really gave myself a chance to sort of hyper-focus or even just regular focus. So both sessions today for the 25.5 showed the exact same thing, which was this like borrowed time brain state. I think the best way that I can explain this is that I'm just pushing through, like applying effort just to be able to continue doing the thing that I'm doing. I'm not inherently interested in anything. I'm not like checked out, but I'm like burning down my reserves as I'm doing this. Okay, now we're off to... All right, day 2, and we're testing this guy, this little gravity timer. And we're also testing 10 minutes on, 3 minutes off for our Pomodoro protocol.
10 minutes of work, 3-minute break. 10 and 3, 10 and 3.
Well, now, I gotta be honest, I'm pretty worried about this one. I kind of felt rushed yesterday with the 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So like reducing that by a lot to 10 minutes on, like I don't even think I'm going to be able to get any amount of real work or focus or even get into hyper focus. But Dr. Russell Barkley claims this is the best.
But you can't do more than 10. You're starting to empty the tank.
10 minutes? That's going to go by like that. Something a little bit new, a little bit different. I'm not exactly sure how this thing's supposed to work. It says it's got gravity-induced timing. It's mini, it's portable for sure that, and it's got a built-in battery. Kind of like that. Wow, it's tiny. Way smaller. The build of it makes me feel like it's not gonna work that well. Like, I don't know. It feels a little cheap. It's got a couple of presets, it looks like, between 10, good. I was kind of worried that it might not have the right presets for today. 20, 5 for the brakes, and then also 50. Look at all these things on the back of it. Vibration on or off, and sound levels. Seconds and minutes, so maybe we can do a custom time on it. That's nice. We'll flip the timer to the preset number. Oh, I guess it already started. Here we go. Flip it to 50. Oh, there it goes. Just to 50 right there. 5. So it just follows the gravity of it. 25 minutes, I should say. All right, back to 5. It's kind of neat. The vibrate's really quiet. I'm not even sure you can hear that. It's like me, me, me. Okay, not so bad. So the gameplay for today is to use this thing, and we're gonna do... We're still working on the website. Let's go back to the desk. Okay, sit on straight. Nope. 10 minutes on, 3 minutes off. I'm already feeling like that's probably not gonna be enough time to get anything real done, but we're gonna find out. Gonna do 6 rounds of this. Okay, let's go. I got nothing done. Time's already out. I was just about to feel like I had any idea of what... Stop beeping. Stop beeping. Stop it. I was just about to have the slightest idea of what I was doing, and then 10 minutes went by. Feeling a little stressed as I'm watching this little timer go down second by second and realizing that I only have 10 minutes to try to figure out how to do this super complex web task that I'm trying to solve right now, and it's... Okay. It's only the first round. Let's get this guy set for... Man, this thing beeps a lot. Okay. Break time. Right. Need to move. I feel like an idiot. Okay. And I'm back. 0 minutes. Okay. Round number 2. Time to get, yeah, okay, yeah. Back to gravity mode. Okay, yeah. 10 minutes on the clock. Round number 2. Okay, break time again. 3 minutes on the clock. Again, that went by just way too fast. I didn't even get to do anything. Okay, time to go, I guess, get a glass of water, and by the time I get back, break time will be over. Dr. Barkley. How? I got actual stuff to do today, and I cannot work like this, being interrupted every 10 minutes, just blah, and then all of a sudden I'm out of it, and then I'm supposed to, I guess, go do some push-ups and then pop back into the thing that I was doing. Like, I have never felt further away from being able to focus than trying this right now. I don't know. Let's see what the stats say. I feel frustrated, both with the 10 on 3 off, but also with this timer. So the first one was me like trying super hard to stay focused. So this was like this NOS hyper focus mode where like I'm stressed out, but I'm focused and I'm doing work, but just my like energy is just straight down. And it felt like that. I was exhausted after the first 2. And then the second one, I had just like given up. And that's where this cold focus mode really comes in. You're like emotionally detached. You don't really care at all about the outcome. It's just a thing that you just have to like, all right, screw it. Okay, I'll do it. There's like this downside to it where you get like almost no dopamine, I found. But I am excited about. Okay, day 3. I spent the last couple of days researching every possible like on-off Pomodoro version, whatever timer. And I came across a couple that were really, really interesting. So the first one that I found right over here is by desk time. In fact, actually both of them were by desk time. For some reason, they seem to like doing a lot of these things on their own employees to figure out who was the most productive and who wasn't. But they did find some really interesting things. They found one protocol that worked better than everything, which was 52 minutes on, 17 minutes off. They found that their top 10% most productive employees just kind of gravitated towards that naturally. And when I heard that, I was like, yes, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for longer breaks, but also like longer work time so I can stay in the flow a little bit more. But then I saw that they updated those results, and in apparently 2025, not that long ago, 75 minutes on, 33 minutes off was actually the best protocol that they found for their most productive people. But I think my worry is that that's a little bit too long. Like the Pomodoro timer works because it's kind of a short version of time, and if Dr. Russell Barkley's saying like 10 on, 3 off, so just constantly be changing things, that maybe we need to ramp that down. I would imagine that both of those protocols, 52 on and then also 75 on, were for neurotypical people, probably. So then I decided to come up with the totally unresearched but about to be researched Josh protocol. 43 minutes on, 17 minutes off. Yes, it adds up to a nice hour. It's easier to remember that way for me. So naturally, me being me, I decided to just create my own Pomodoro timer, which you can get for free right down at this link right here. It's Mac only right now. Please don't ask me for any tech support. I probably will never update it again because it looks kind of done to me. But check it out. It's pretty cool. It's free. You can use it whenever you want. Okay, so check this out. I have named this Pomodorco. Kind of hard to say, but it's like Pomodoro, but for the dorks like me that are wanting to eke every little like inch of productivity that they possibly can out of their ADHD brains. Optimizers, I guess, is maybe a short way to put it. Dorks. Wonderful, wonderful dorks that we all are. It's pretty straightforward. You just click on this cool little brain icon that's up in your taskbar all the time, and you just scroll on over to how much work you want to do. So today we're going to try 43 on and 17 off. Great. Long break after we do a couple of these things, let's say for half an hour. That seems like a good spot. And we're doing 2 intervals today to test. There's some settings, stop after break, show timer and menu bar, etc. It's really hard to see over this giant thing. And whether or not you want it to launch and log in, and how loud you want the sound effect. Okay, this was obviously heavily inspired by another free app. In fact, I just forked it off of theirs and made a bunch of changes, including adding CLI access and a couple other things. Tomato Bar by Ilya Veronin. Amazing project. I took a lot of sort of his thoughts about it and then just made it work, I think, more so for people with ADHD like me, just the way that I wanted to see it. I am hopeful. In fact, I will be heartbroken if this does not work better than the 10.3 yesterday. Nice, nice. On we go. Here we go. Pomodoro. Engage. 43 on, 17 off. All right, 3, 2, 1. So, I got a layout. I made some fake blog posts to go on here. I uploaded some fake pictures. I finally got the CSS to look kind of good. Not all the way good, but kind of good. All right, 17-minute break. That's long enough to go for a walk outside. If you know, you know. That was much nicer. All right, 43 on, 17 off. And we're in. What was I working on? Layout, ADHD mode. Yep. Okay, just a minute left. I spent basically this entire time making this ADHD mode feature. I always thought it would be really cool if every single website had an ADHD mode on it, like something that really stripped down the website to just like its bare bones and also made all the text more readable and just kind of like got rid of a lot of things. So hold on, let me show you. And on. Oh, and off, and on. Cool, huh? Uses the Open Dyslexic font, which is really cool and super readable across pretty much every single device. It works. It obviously needs, some more work, but the thing that I like the most is the surprise me feature. Blip. Ooh, yeah, it just brings you to the random blog post, so that way you don't get all that, I don't know which one to, I just want to read something. You can just click that button and it gets you there. It's come a long way. This whole thing's come a long way. Definitely, this protocol felt a lot better, and I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I came up with it or whatever, but genuinely this longer working and then longer break feels just so much better. To not be doing this back and forth context switching constantly. It takes me so long to get back into the flow state that when I'm in it, I don't want to leave it. Let's take a look at the data. The brain states showed this borrowed time for the first one, which meant maybe it had gone on a little bit long, maybe I was off by a couple of minutes, or maybe the state I came into it was a little burned out already. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And then the second one was this cold focus mode, which was great for what I was trying to do. I had to do a lot of menial tasks, a lot of really very super detail oriented stuff. It wasn't so much creative work on the second one, just making sure I didn't miss anything. The thing that I'm realizing now is that those brain states and the amount of stuff that I got done, those are half the picture, right? At most half the picture. The other half of the picture is just how I felt, the satisfaction that I had from this work. And for me, the most satisfied I felt was when I had more time to drop into some sort of focus state to actually get something done. For me, this was a really cool experiment. I learned a ton from this about not just how I work, but sort of about how to fit the right tool to how I'm feeling at that point in time, and how expensive it is for me to try to force work when I'm just not in the right state for it. And it's so maddening being a person who wants to do stuff and also have ADHD, where I have all this ambition and all this drive, and I'm I want to do things, but it feels like I have to wait for these phases of the sun and the moon and everything to align just right, and then I'm whoa! I spend so much of my time just trying to replicate that, when in reality, I think probably I just need to rest a little bit more and it'll happen more often. Okay, so out of the timers, which of them was the best? I'm just gonna put the digital one right there. Which of these was the best? So I think, first of all, this one is the worst one. It's kind of cool looking. The gravity features are pretty nice, but truly the way that it works is so distracting. It's so distracting. This one is actually really cool, and this is the physical one that I'm going to keep. You can use it for so many different things. Obviously you could use it in a kitchen, or you can use it for timing anything, right? But the way that it makes time visual in a non-distracting way for the digital timer, this guy right here that I built, I love the customizability of it. I also love that it's free. And I genuinely think that just about anything that is a timer that doesn't make a bunch of noise, that you can just stick on your desk, would probably work just about as well. The biggest difference by far was the protocol, was actually how long. Okay, so if you want to see the deep dive, as well as get access to all the raw data for this entire experiment, and also get Pomodoro, the app that I built that emulates one of these guys for totally free that you can run on your Mac, that's down in the description and also on our website. We go really deep into everything that we did here, all the specs, all the everything. Check it out, and we'll see you in the next one.